so bright. There we go. Don't know why this is so bright. There we go. Nothing I can really do. All right. I am live. Thank goodness. Let me fix. Where's my cards? Ooh, let me spin my gum out. Okay, live right now. Ready to go. Ready to go. I might want my hair out my face. Just throw it in a ponytail. If I could feel it. I am live and ready. See if I can pull this back so we can go live. All right. No, that just looks insane. So I'll just let this down then. It's too difficult right now. All right. Ready to be live. Cards are ready. Oh, I'm missing them. Ready to go. Ready to start. Oh, almost forgot. Almost forgot. There we go. Ready for the lives. Ready. Ooh, the cards are ready too. The cards are ready too. Flying out already. Ready for the live. Ready for the session. Okay. Wonder if there are any transits or anything interesting coming next week. I know we just had the new moon going through, and that was definitely an interesting experience. Very, very interesting experience there. What was that? New moon Indonesia type of going on. I want to make sure that I get that right, but that's okay. Next week, it is March. It's March 1st now. Venus is going retrograde today. Venus is retrograde. That is the energy. That is the vibes. Man, that is something here. All right. I'll just wait here until we get people joining the live. Till then, I want to see what nakshatra Venus is retrograde in. Ooh, Ashwini, I believe. Nope, that can't be right. I need the transits. Why is it so hard to find the transits? The transits. Okay. Venus going retrograde today. We had no retrograde planets for a while. And that was all about moving things forward. So I hope a lot of you, if you watch this back or if you pop in, are able to let me know what you managed to get done between that time, just for a few days where all the planets were direct. For me, definitely letting go of any sort of past baggage and regrets. That was my direct period. And now I'm just focusing on the future and moving ahead. Why is the light doing all that? Like focusing in and out like that. Very strange. But yes, I am ready to get started, and I will wait till anyone comes in. I'll probably be here, I don't know. Depends on the amount of people. 30 minutes to an hour. Depends on the crowd. If not many come in, I guess I'll just stay on 30 minutes just in case. Just in case. Not my usual time, I'll say that, with this noon. Though I have been live on noon on Saturdays before. But it's just trying out new times in which I will actually be awake. I don't think I'll ever do like a 10 a.m. Saturday one because that's not me. Me being up before 10 a.m., I couldn't even imagine. So this retrograde, this Venus retrograde, which I don't know why it's not showing on the transits. That's because I have the transit set to the wrong date, Brandy. That is the wrong date. There we go. It's still the wrong date. I'm trying to see. I haven't looked at what nakshatra it's in. I know it's retrograde today. I know that there is shifting energies going on at the moment. There always are, but retrogrades and all that definitely play a big part. Where is it? I don't know why it's not showing up on this chart as retrograde. That is so strange. I don't know what's going on. Venus retrograde 2025. Yeah, starts March 2nd. So why March 1st, March 2nd, depending on where you are in the world. So what's going on with astro.com? It's not showing the Venus retrograde. That's frustrating. That is frustrating. Okay. It is retrograding in, I think, the beginning of Revati and then going back into Uttara Bhadrapada. So very interesting. So it's starting off in Revati and kind of going back into Uttara Bhadrapada. Wow. Okay. Intense energy. We were almost getting to the point where we were reaching some sort of enlightenment. And you may even had like a revelation moment. But definitely as it goes back into Uttara Bhadrapada, that gets a little hard for love. Like, I know Venus is exalted in the sign of Pisces in Vedic astrology. I'm talking about because Uttara Bhadrapada and Revati fall into the sign in Pisces in Vedic astrology. And I think obviously Aries in Western astrology. But those are kind of like tough placements for love, not Revati, but Uttara Bhadrapada. Venus is actually exalted in Revati. But Uttara Bhadrapada, that's like, oh, I got to work hard for love, whether that's self-love, love of other people, work hard to have fun. But those are the energies. Oh, hey, Anj said, hi, about my future spouse, details. Okay, details about Anj's future spouse. Let's get into it. Let us get into it. I'm doing well. I hope you're doing well too. We have the Two of Pentacles for their personality. So the Two of Pentacles is going to be somebody who is juggling a lot. That means they have a lot of different responsibilities. They have to have a lot of different hats that they have to try on. I usually get the Two of Pentacles to represent somebody who is flexible, meaning like if they lose their job in, I don't know, insurance claims today, then the next day they are, working in construction. Like they're like, I got to do what I need to do to get by. And so when you have this type of energy, it's somebody who is able to be adaptable, who is able to transition their skills into different areas. And it doesn't even have to be in terms of work. It could just be that this person is able to get along with various different people. They know how to assimilate with what's going on in the room. They understand the vibe of the room. It's a very like, I can adjust myself to the situation type of energy here. Another thing that this can represent with the Two of Pentacles is that this person is more likely, they like to take their time when it comes to deciding, right? Like you have people who are very straightforward, very decisive. very much like, I know what I want and I'm going to go after it. And I have my tunnel vision for that. This person, not so much. They like to weigh their options. There's someone who is probably a little bit, takes them a little while to like choose a restaurant or something, or choose what type of place to go on a date, or choose a gift. Like, they very much like to take a very analytical approach to that and take their time and really think about what direction that they might want to go in, and they might change their mind. It's really an interesting placement because it does make people very open to new ideas and new experiences and new people. But at the same time, it's just like, okay, last week I was into playing cards. This week I'm into playing chess. And it's not bad or anything. It's just like, you may get this energy that feels like they're always curious, always exploring different avenues. But it's good because the Two of Pentacles also represents fun, right? And part of fun is being able to be open to different experiences. So you definitely have somebody who has an open mind when it comes to your future spouse. See if we get any more details about them. Okay, we got the Four of Cups, because my question I was thinking of was like, what's going on with their life right now? So right now, they're taking a moment to themselves to reflect, kind of going off of that Two of Pentacles personality. They kind of flow together, right? Reflect on what it is that they desire, where it is that what direction they want to go in next. You know, the Four of Cups are foundational cards, meaning they represent stability. And so it's almost like this person is looking for like emotional stability. They're looking to bring happiness into their life on a consistent basis, so that it's not like, I get my happiness every now and then from going on vacation every 2 months. They're like, I'm trying to figure out, how can I bring fulfillment and joy into my life on a regular basis with the Four of Cups. So there's a lot of dissatisfaction going on in their life right now. They're definitely single. Usually I get the Four of Cups to represent singleness. It represents pulling yourself away, having time to reflect, being by yourself to a degree, and really figuring out your desires and who you want, or what you want as a person. So we definitely see that when it comes to their personality. I'm going to pull, let's see, another card when it comes to them. Let's see. Okay. Wow. That's so funny. Two of Pentacles came out again. But anyway, I was going to ask about their appearance. So when it comes to your spouse and what they look like, obviously the Two of Pentacles, very much someone who is, they experiment with their wardrobe. Two of Pentacles is all about experimentation, taking risks, taking chances in terms of like how they may present themselves. Another thing is this can represent they just have two different wardrobes or two different looks. Like they go from like super business wardrobe to, just everyday streetwear, like two opposite types of looks. Like, oh, I'm very put together, or I'm just in my tracksuit all day, or sweatpants, or something like that. Two opposite type of looks for them in terms of how they present themselves and how they dress. But they are open to sort of like experimenting with their style and their look. This is not someone who has a strong attachment to how they present themselves and their appearance. And then the Four of Pentacles can represent somebody who, even though that they are willing to experiment, they want to do it in a more conservative or traditional way. They may not want to wear like a bunch of different funky hair colors. They're not going to like say, let me dye my hair green. They may dye their hair more so a natural color, but they aren't going to be so extreme with it. They don't want to take too many risks or too many chances. And then also when it comes to the Four of Pentacles, I usually get this type to sort of represent someone who is a bit more reserved when you see them. There's someone who is, like I said, not going to be very like va va voom, very glamorous. They're not going to wear a lot of fancy watches. They're not going to be head to toe in Louis Vuitton or some designer suit. It's just very much like, let me sort of play things safe. I don't want to stand out too much. I don't want to be too showy. But all in all, you really do have someone who's very dynamic, someone who is open to ideas. So more than likely that they are willing to listen to what you have to do. They're someone who is a survivor. So like I said, even if you throw some random situation that is like an emergency at them, they're like, okay, let's work through this. I can figure this out. I have a plan. I'm ready to go. Everything's going to be okay, because they do have that dynamic aspect to their first personality, especially with the Two of Pentacles coming up twice. That's definitely someone who has had a lot of curveballs thrown their way. And because they have a lot of curveballs thrown their way, they don't panic when there's emergency situations. And they're definitely going to be somebody fun. Like, you're going to really enjoy being with this person, because they're always going to want to take you somewhere. Two of Pentacles I get for traveling and going far distances. And so they're probably going to want to take you on trips, and they're definitely into exploring. And they're not someone who is a boring person. I'll say that. Let me know if that resonates with someone who you might go for or anything like that. And if anyone else gets a reading, feel free, go ahead. I will be here for a minute, and I will answer your questions happily. If not, you can also tell me how how it was this week, since all the planets were sort of direct. Granted, today Venus goes retrograde. Said, thank you, seems interesting, a bit like me. That's good. That means you're two peas in a pod. That's actually funny, because I normally get the Two of Pentacles to represent people who are like-minded, like, like bread and butter, or like peanut butter and jam. Like, so I get that Two of Pentacles energy for that. It's like, okay, these two people really fit. So it's great to know that, that you're both like that. And you are welcome. And or is it Anj? Hopefully I'm saying that right. I am very excited for next week's energy. It is March. It is Pisces season right now, but soon it'll be Aries season. Oh, that's good. Soon it will be Aries season. And that is my birthday, everyone. Aries season. Love it. I'm very excited for it. I've got to make plans. So springtime's here. Springtime is almost here. I should say that. Not it is here, but it's almost here. That means the seasons are changing. It's getting warmer. I can get rid of these sweaters and actually go outside. I love walking, but I hate walking in the cold. Granted, I don't know where everyone is in the world, but right here on the East Coast, it is cold, very cold. And like I said, if you don't want to get reading, just let me know how your week has been, how your day has been. Curious, want to hear about what you're up to, what your plans are as we shift seasons. I know I have the same plans as usual. Work, school, focus on the future, and everything like that. Ooh, hairpiece. So let me know how things have been, how you have been, what you've been up to, or if you have anything that is on your mind. Hey Z, how are you? I'm doing really good. Like, this week is, spring break starts this week, so I get a little break for a week to do my thing. I'll probably be filming a little bit more, so that's going to be good. That is going to be actually really great. It's going to give me more time. Oh, don't forget to hit the like, everyone. I really appreciate it. Oh, this card wants to fly out. Don't know why the Nine of Pentacles has a lot to say right now. Woo. So it's the Six of Cups. All right, just going to keep shuffling here. All right. I think I've got the good energy. Confronting someone at work yesterday. I feel really good, but also a bit guilty. You know what? Don't feel guilty. If this person, wasn't acting appropriately, you did the right thing by standing up for yourself, and letting them know what you think of their behavior. Sometimes you just got to do that. It's uncomfortable, but we've all been there, or most of us will be there at some point. It's good that you set those boundaries. It's good that you said something, because sometimes when you don't say anything, it can really eat at you. And so I'm actually proud of you, Z. Long as you conducted yourself and you were honest and you weren't, being rude, which I'm sure you weren't. I think it's good. I think it's really good. It's really good. Do you think that it'll help the relationship? Or do you think this person will change, or they will transform their behavior? Because I hope they do. Work situations are always tough. I used to not confront people at work, and still, me personally, I still don't like to do it. So honestly, I know that takes a lot of courage. I think I've only said something maybe once or twice to someone, because it was that their behavior was that bad. It was so bad. Like, I was like, I have to say something. And really, they cornered me into saying something. So I think what I said was a bit harsh, honestly, but I feel better for it. Oh, I guess you live and you learn from those situations. So next time that you are in like a situation like that, you'll know like what words to use that might be better. Or if you encounter that situation again, hopefully you don't have to. But I think we all live and learn from those situations. We always look back and say, "Oh, I wish I should have said this instead," or, maybe I was too harsh with my words, or maybe I was too direct, or, maybe I came across like I was being very critical, or things along the lines of that. But, you know, I think it's one of those situations you learn from. Because communication is always a skill that you have to grow and develop, especially when it comes to communications dealing with conflict. That's always hard to navigate, because you yourself have very strong feelings. And so you have to like think about your own feelings and control those. At the same time, you also think about things from the other person's perspective and how they might react. And it gets very complicated in those situations. But I think over time, the more we all get into these confrontational situations, the more we can all get better. I think all you can do, Z, is continue to learn, continue to grow, and don't be hard on yourself. Don't beat yourself up for it. You did your best for the situation at the time, and the next time the confrontation, you'll be able to have the right words ready, because you've already been through the situation before. But yeah, work is tough. That's why me personally, I say donate it on PayPal. Oh, thanks, Z. I don't even think I have the. Let me get the PayPal and clicking on it. My internet is being slow. There we go. There we go. Is the question there? I'm clicking on to see if the question is there too. Okay. I don't see the question, so I'm guessing you still have to type it. All right. I'll wait for you to type the question. Hmm. And if you're just coming in, don't forget to like. I really appreciate the likes. You don't have to get a reading. You could just stay and talk too if you want to. Either way, I'm happy for it. Okay. My question is, I think as a goodwill gesture, I will get some cookies playing on the theme of this since she said she was dead to me. So I think as a goodwill gesture, I should get her some cookies playing on the theme of death since I said she was dead to me. I don't know. You think they'll find it funny? It depends on their sense of humor. I'll say that. You know, that might definitely depend on their sense of humor. But let's see how it'll play out because that could go good or that could go bad. Okay, let's see. Okay, Judgment wants to come out. It said, I'm hoping so. I find it funny. I think it's funny too. But it definitely depends on how sensitive somebody is. Because some people may be like, oh no, I'm so upset. All right, let's see. Judgment's already a good sign though. But let's see the rest of the cards. Page of Swords. And what else? Oh, Temperance. I think that's pretty good combination of cards. I think with Judgment here, it's almost like you two were able to clear the air. Or you can even have a deeper conversation, especially with the Page of Swords and things along the lines of that. This should have represents just you two being able to speak what's on your mind, have maybe a more calm conversation, um, less tenseness, less emotions, less harsh words going on here. Don't get me wrong, the Page of Swords isn't, always the best at expressing themselves, but they are being honest and they are being truthful and they're being genuine in their delivery generally, especially since we have Temperance here. It looks like that would cause you to both sort of have a better understanding of each other. Temperance here doesn't necessarily mean that everything's hunky dory, but it means like, hey, I understand your perspective. I respect your way of thinking, and I think we'll be able to, work better and more efficiently. It's almost like you have this heart to heart moment, you have this understanding, you have this way in which you can both sort of understand each other's perspectives more. So I think it will be good. It'll allow for this conversation. They will be Walking Dead theme. I think that's very funny. I think it's a good idea that you are extending the olive branch. I think this person will accept it, and you two will be able to move forward and get along a lot better and have better communication. And it'll be a very transformative moment for your relationship. At least that's what I think. When I get temperance, it's like everything's in harmony, everything's balanced. I've gotten it a few times to represent meeting certain people, and those interactions just kind of flew together very naturally. It didn't feel awkward. So even if it feels awkward in the beginning, by the time the conversation's over, it'll feel like, okay, there's no awkwardness between us. Everything's good. Everything has worked out. We could continue with our work without any tension or feeling like we are holding on to something and we have unresolved issues. Everything will be resolved. So it's a good idea. I think I like the Walking Dead theme. I think this person will like it. Says that sounds all right. I'm going to get them delivered, but maybe I should do it in person. It might be good to do it in person. That way you two can have that conversation, and if they don't understand the Walking Dead themed cookies, then you can explain it to them, because, who knows what might be going on in their head that day. If they just suddenly receive Walking Dead themed cookies, they may not know what's going on. But I think if you gave it to them, it might be your opportunity to have that conversation. I think it sounds like a great idea. The cards agree. They want you to be able to resolve those issues. What was that? Okay, maybe that was spirit. All right. Don't know what the flickering is, but that, I think that'll work out. I think that will be beneficial. I hope everything is good with you two, Z, and that you two can move forward and work together peacefully. I know it's always tough when you have to show up to work and be around someone who you may have had some issues with. That's definitely tough. So hopefully this works out. I'm pretty sure it will. I mean, the cards gave some really good combinations, showing that it's going to be a little bit peaceful. But if you're coming in, don't forget to hit the like button. I'm not gonna say bucket button. I really appreciate it. Yeah, yes, I think it will. Thank you. You're welcome, Z. You're welcome. As I was saying, if you're just coming in, don't forget to hit the like button. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I just love being able to do readings for you all, and the like button is a great way to at least help my channel. As I continue to grow with you all, because we have grown so much, I feel over the past few months, not every video needs to be viral, but I am talking to you all the time. I'm seeing your comments. I'm looking at the polls. I'm getting suggestions. Like, there's so much going on. There's so many positive things that have been happening for the channel. And, I really feel like I'm just really appreciative of all the support, is all I'm trying to say. It's turned out a lot different than I thought it would, in the best way. So that is very good for me, because I was so unsure when I first restarted the channel, but I feel like things are going well. I really do. Hold on. There's a card here. There we go. Shuffle it a little bit more. I guess I can be on for another 10 minutes. So if anybody wants a reading, they can get one. Feel free to ask a question or talk about your day, your week, and how things have been. You can even leave video suggestions of readings that you possibly want to see. I can't wait for the spring, guys. Let me tell you, I feel like in the winter, I get so lazy and things along the lines of that. But when spring and summer comes, I'm always outside walking. It's so gloomy and cold to walk outside. But I'm ready. I'm ready for the change of seasons. I'm ready to get back into my exercise routine. Not that I haven't been exercising. It's just like, it's been very off. It's on and off. in the spring, it's always on. In the summer, it's always on. The fall, it's on. Winter, it's shaky. It's shaky. But I'm ready for that new energy to come in. I'm ready for this Venus retrograde like we've never seen it before. Granted, I would say Venus retrograde doesn't do anything too crazy for me. Like I can't think of a chaotic Venus retrograde that I've had in mind. I think they said the last time Venus was retrograde in Aries might have been 2017. And it's actually interesting because I looked back and I was like, oh my goodness, I was working part-time and I was a student then too. And now I'm sort of doing the same thing. And I was like, that is so, astrology and tarot and all of the occult sciences are so on point when you can really study and know your stuff, or you can find a really intuitive reader or someone who just creates a system. Either way, it's so great when you see all the energies aligning and coming together and actually just revealing their truth. And to me, I'm always amazed by like all the different occult scientists. So that's just me. Obviously, I'm a tarot reader. I'm biased. I'm totally biased, but that's fine. But if anyone else wants to get a reading, feel free to come in, or if you just want to make a comment, if you just want to talk about something, I'm open here. Next week, I don't think, let me see. Oh, before I leave, I do like to look at the calendar and let people know what time I'll be in next week so that everyone is prepared for the day. It's going to have to be on Friday or Sunday. Oh, it's daylight savings time. Maybe I'll do it Friday. Maybe. If I change it, I'll switch. I'll put it in the community tab. But Friday's looking like it's going to be the day I'm going to be live next week, because it doesn't look like I have too many plans on that day, but it depends. Yeah, it really does. But yes, feel free to come in and ask questions. Tell me what's on your mind, what you're thinking about. Me personally, I'm just happy to be getting a break from school. So I'm just vibing right now, and enjoying my week off until I have to get back into it. I think for this week off, I'm going to actually focus on getting back into my workout routine. So maybe that's what this Venus retrograde is about. I know Venus can connect to, health and fitness and things on the lines of that. So actually the timing's perfect, isn't it? Venus goes retrograde and I'm like, yes, I can get back into my workout plan, my workout routine. And that does make a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense. Like I said, I am a sun in Aries. And so for me, it's like my soul, my spirit just wants to move everyone. But yeah, let me know how Venus retrograde affects you. I'm going to obviously make a little post on it. And let you guys know next week. I love doing the little post with the live. Tell me what you think about that too. If you'd rather I do a separate post with the announcement for the live. I've also been trying to add those posts to my Instagram because I'm like, you know what? I haven't posted in a while on Instagram. I'm just going to take the posts from my feed. And that way, if people want information on the energies of different nakshatras or planets, they can also find it one place on my Instagram. And it's very easy since I love making those posts. I think there's a thing called a Substack too. Maybe I'll get into that at some point, but not right now. I've got enough work. I'm always trying to give myself more work. Let me know if you're the same way or if you're the opposite way. If you're just like, no, I try to avoid it, but things are, you never know. Things are different. It's so interesting how we all change and transform over the years. 10 years ago, it's a lot of Pisces energy right now. You are so right, Kate. There is so much Pisces energy. Do I ever do readings on myself? Sometimes I do. Sometimes I'll do readings on myself and I'll like record it, not on video, but I'll do audio recording to see where things are. But normally what I do is, I'll do a card of the day for myself to see how the day would be. And then, but normally what I do is, I'll do a card of the day for myself to see how the day would be. Like yesterday, I think I pulled the 5 of Cups, and I was like, 5 of Cups, I've got a lot of fun things going on for me yesterday. And it was fun, but there was that moment where I realized I was holding on to some feelings regarding past relationships. And so I actually did a little like funeral involving like stuff from that past relationship that I needed to let go of. So very interesting how the cards tend to be accurate. I have Pisces IC, and it's such a pain in the ass. You must have a lot going on in your emotional world right now. Like that's a lot to deal with. Pisces energy, you know what? It's important because it's so reflective, and it involves like dealing with, the chaos of the world and looking at the big picture, not just of the world but in your own personal life and like where you're trying to go, because it's that hangman energy. Hey Sierra, and I'm doing well, how are you? And it's just like a lot of waiting. It's a lot of waiting, it's a lot of stress, it's a lot of just like what ifs and dealing with anxiety, and like nothing's going on but you have to deal with the thoughts inside your own head and or your own emotions. It's so stressful. Said Sierra, I'm good. And oh, that's good to hear. I love hearing that you guys are doing well. That's what I would love to continue to hear. I know life is stressful. Life can be very stressful. What are your thoughts on Saturn? Saturn is a really great planet. I know people, give Saturn a lot of mess because it's tough. It's tough. Saturn is that tough love planet. And the reason it's so tough is because it makes you see your flaws. It makes you see your weaknesses. It makes you see areas in which you just aren't good at. Saturn's going to come through your first house. And if you don't have a strong plan and direction for your life, Saturn's going to throw you in a bunch of circumstances that are chaotic. And it's not even just like it's throwing you, it's really just you doing it to yourself. But it's going to give you a lot of circumstances that are chaotic, that are pleasant, that are just very much pushing you to give yourself some sort of direction, some sort of structure. It does the same thing with every single house. Goes to your second house. People say, oh, I was broke, I lost all my money, da 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 da. Saturn's just like, yeah, because you didn't have a solid foundation in which you were building your money or your wealth. You maybe weren't saving enough money. Maybe you didn't have the right job to pay you enough. Like things along the lines of that. It's not always, your fault and everything, but a lot of the time Saturn is going to make you see those weaknesses. Can I donate and ask a Venus retrograde question? Yes, you can, Sierra. You definitely can. But yeah, Saturn's a good planet. Because even though it's tough, it grants you your wishes. It gives you what you want in the end. If you're like, hey, I'm tired of, I'm trying to think of a common problem. I'm tired of being single. I'm tired of dating people who aren't a good match for me. And Saturn's going to come through and give you like maybe a bunch of horrible relationships until you start to see a pattern. And so you start to see the type of people that you are going for. And then you're like, oh, wait, I'm going for these type of people. Let me redirect myself. So it makes things worse. It makes you hit rock bottom before you get better. But yeah, I love all the planets. All the planets are really great. They all teach their own lessons. They all have their own energies. They're all very insightful energies. Obviously, we always look at the big ones like Saturn and Jupiter, and then I think Mars and Venus would be next. We look at the nodes too, Ketu and Rahu. You said Uranus and the Tower. Yeah, Uranus in the Tower. They do have very similar energies, don't they? Like the shocking, unexpected, wild, out of control type of energy going on here. That is so much like very Uranus, very the Tower, very much like it's a hold on, I'm reading. How do you feel about Jupiter? Jupiter is a good planet. But I think Jupiter also gets overhyped too, because they always say Jupiter is like the planet of blessings. But from my experience, Jupiter, it does give blessings, but Jupiter is more so like expansion and growth. And it doesn't necessarily always mean that's a good thing, because you can grow in an area that's bad for you. Like if you were a criminal, Jupiter might give you more opportunities to steal things. That's not necessarily a good thing, right? So it's not like Jupiter is a planet that's not there to sort of judge your actions. It's just to give you more of it until, until it gets to the point where it feels like this is actually uncomfortable. This is actually not enjoyable for me. I don't like this. That's why you have Jupiter like connected to like obesity and things along the lines of that. It's just about growth. It's just about expansion. So it is a really good planet in terms of getting opportunities. If you have been working hard and you have been very focused and you have been disciplined and you have been really aligned with your goals, then if Jupiter, you get like a Jupiter transit in whatever area you've been working towards, then it will give you opportunities in those areas. But if you haven't been doing the best things for yourself, like let's say you had a drug addiction, Jupiter might give you more opportunities to destroy your life and get caught into a cycle of addiction. So it depends. So Jupiter's just there to give you more of what you've already been pushing towards, or you already have been attracting with your energy. But I like all the planets. Jupiter's definitely a guru. Definitely, I think whenever I see somebody who has strong Jupiterian energy in their chart, meaning like it's on their ascendant, it might be in their seventh house. They might have Vishaka, Punavarsu, Purvabhadrapada, nakshatras. They're always really good at giving solid advice and thinking things through. They're probably some of the best like therapists, teachers. They're really great at explaining matters. So I definitely agree that, 100% Jupiter is like the ultimate guru planet, like versus if you were have Saturn as a teacher. Saturn's going to be strict. You'll learn, but it's like it's tough. It's really tough. But Jupiter's not as tough. Jupiter will just give you things with ease, saying, hey, can I get extra points, teacher? Jupiter's like, sure. Saturn's like, no, I'm not giving you extra points. You already have the syllabus, meet the standards. Like, that's Saturn. Don't budge. Jupiter's like flexible. So I really like that planet. And Sierra, I got your Cash App. Did you send a question with it? I don't see it. I just want to make sure I'm not missing it. Oh, you said you're here? I know you said you had a question about Venus retrograde. What was the question? How will it affect you this year? Okay. Do you mean from like a tarot reading? For the tarot reading, since it's like a how-to question, it would be more so like the $10 reading for that. But if you mean like just me telling, if you're just saying where Venus is in your chart and asking me, I can give some insider details based on that. Granted, I don't have your whole chart, but I said, okay. But yeah, I can pull cards for that. It just depends on how you wanted me to answer that question. All right. All right. Let me know when you have sent it. Does anyone else have any questions? Since the live will be over in a little bit, want to make sure that I get any more questions before we exit. And don't forget to hit the like. I would really appreciate it. Okay. All right. Thank you, Sierra. All right. Let's see. How will Venus retrograde affect Sierra this year? Okay. This is strange. Why are the cards being so stiff? Okay. 5 of Pentacles. Wheel of Fortune. Nine of Swords. Let's pull. Jeez. Whoa. Okay. And the Queen of Pentacles. Reversed, though. All right. I'll probably pull one more card, but let's see. 5 of Pentacles, Wheel of Fortune, 9 of Swords, Queen of Pentacles, reversed. So to me, it feels like if you've been having some issues with jobs or finances, or even just felt like a little bit out of place, like you aren't getting the things that you want and need in this life for happiness and fulfillment, or even just to sustain yourself, or you're not getting support. Well, that is going to change, definitely, because of this Venus retrograde. The Nine of Swords is there to show how you're going to be very concerned when it comes to, the areas, like I said, job, finances, how you feel about yourself, how you feel about the support system around you, how you feel about, like I mentioned before, yourself, others, feeling like outsider. That's going to shift. And it's because you're going to start thinking about it a lot more. It's really going to weigh heavy on your mind, where you're going to start to feel like I've got to just do something about this. Like, this is no way I can live my life this way. I don't have the job that I want. I'm not making the money that I want to make. I don't look or feel how I want to feel. I'm not surrounded by people who support me. Like, that is very much that 5 of Pentacles cards. And both of these cards have to do with change and transformation. And so I know with this Venus retrograde, you're going to be changing, you're going to be transforming, and it's not going to come without stress. Granted, you might want to relax a little. 9 of Swords is definitely someone who's overthinking and overanalyzing a situation. But I think because you have this sort of analytical mind where you might think a little too much, or get worried or very concerned because you care a lot about transforming your life into something beautiful, it's going to cause you to reevaluate things. The Queen of Pentacles wants to start to make shifts, wants to start to make changes. She's like, you know what? I'm not growing in the direction that I want to grow in. I want to make sure that my garden looks the most beautiful to me. I want to make sure that I'm planting white roses, not just red roses. It's like making sure you're in the best circumstance for yourself and that you are focusing on growing in the areas in which will bring you happiness, fulfillment, and make you feel secure. Now, if this is about some sort of job or work or finances, then this is taking a look at the areas in which you feel like you can improve. Whether that means you need to make more money, whether that means you need to start spending or investing in different ways, or whether that means that you like your job, but maybe you don't like the department you work in, or you don't like the people that you work in. Either way, you're starting to look at what areas that you need to change. And if this is more so on a personal level, which this can be, then this is saying, okay, what am I doing to make sure that I am taking care of myself? Because I feel like I have been neglecting my needs lately. I feel like I haven't been paying attention to the things that I want because I've been so focused at some job or some responsibility, and it's draining me emotionally. It's causing me a lot of stress. It's causing me a lot of anxiety. And therefore, I'm not taking care of myself how I want to because I'm so drained at the end of the day. Now it's like taking a look at where can you change things about so that you no longer have to feel that way, so that you no longer are in this place where it feels like your creative energy is dying, where you're not getting the love and support that you need, where you can focus more on self-love. And so to summarize, it's about, Six of Swords. It's about moving on to a place that's better. I mean, Six of Swords is always about moving on to a better place, a better environment, going to where you need to go, because where you're at just isn't right. It's not going to suit you in the long run. It feels too chaotic. It feels like you aren't being appreciated. It feels uncomfortable. It feels like you're constantly in a state of battle, or in a state of desiring, or in a state of need, or in a state of lack. It just feels wrong. And so now with this Venus retrograde, it's going to push you to a better place where you can start to feel more like yourself, where you can start to say, yes, I want to quit. I want to quit my job, but I need to start my YouTube channel first. Get on it, Sierra. Like, get on it. These cards want you to go for it. Like, don't waste any time. I'm not saying rush into it because we don't have any wands here, right? Like, nothing's fast, but get on it, keep it moving, because it looks like Venus retrograde is going to push you to do that anyway. You're like, I'm out the door, I'm ready to go. I'm ready for the next adventure. So you may even, find a different job while starting your YouTube channel. Maybe you even find a better job so you don't even have to deal with the stress of that, and you can do YouTube. But keep going, keep going in those areas so that you can build a comfortable and beautiful life for yourself, because you're really not meant to be in this state where it feels like, I'm unhappy here. I don't like these people. We don't really click. This job's not for me. Our values don't align. This place doesn't share the same mindset as I want. This place doesn't pay me enough. This place doesn't have enough benefits. The people here are a different vibe than what I'm looking for. So 100% Venus is going to push you more towards getting that vibe, getting that place that feels comfortable, going outside of your comfort zone, going outside of the chaos, and creating this life that you want to create. So it's giving you those strong foundations for it. Well, more than foundations, because you're past foundations. Like you said, you already have the idea, which means you probably already have some plans in mind of what you want to do. It's just a matter of acting on it and putting in the work and keep going and being focused on your goals, because the cards want you out of this situation. They want you to leave. Look at this Six of Swords on the end. They want you someplace better, someplace where you can be happy, someplace where you can be the upright Queen of Pentacles, where you're taking care of yourself and you're feeling good about what you do. And every day you get to wake up and do what you love, or most days you get to wake up and do what you love. And you're surrounded by people who support you. You have a team, a great audience, people who are on your side, people who believe in your dream. It's really like you're going to get there. You're going to start getting closer to that goal because of Venus retrograde. Let me know if that resonates, Sierra. And anybody else, let me know if you want to get a reading. Feel free to hit the like button. I would really appreciate that. We are about to wrap up the live. I think next live is going to be Friday. So it resonated. The kids are fun and cute. Management is not for me. I'm sorry that you have to be in that position where, you know, you're dealing with management. Is it the duties of management or the people in management that you don't like? Because maybe you like management, but just not at that place. Because it's always different for certain areas. Because the cards don't think that you'd be bad at managing things. But I really do feel like you have a good future. You have a good future ahead. The fact that we got the Six of Swords, on to better days, on to bigger things, on to greater adventures, things starting to align. The people they don't help. That's a shame. That explains why we have that, Five of Pentacles card, where you're not getting that support that, you need, and things along the lines of that. Yeah, you got to get out of there, because they're just going to continue to drain you. Hopefully, you can find a better place for you to be in. I definitely know what it's like to have a job that you just don't like, that is very draining, that everyone is kind of out for themselves. They're not working together. They're not collaborative. They're just concerned with their own wants and needs and desires. And that's tough. That's really tough. But there's brighter days ahead. The cards have shown it. They have put it in there. It's out there in the universe. Good times are coming. You're slowly moving out of those rocky waters. And keep in mind, in March, we also have Neptune entering Aries for the first time in a billion gazillion years. I think the last time it began in Aries. I don't remember where it ended, but I know the last time it entered Aries was during the Civil War. So it's been a very long time. So March is going to be a new beginning for a lot of people, especially since it's in the sign of Aries, which is the sign of new beginnings, essentially, since it's the first sign of the zodiac. And I really do feel like, you're going to be making those transformations, and it's going to be a lot of positive things coming your way, Sierra. This is the beginning of a new day for you. Keep that in mind, the beginning of a new day. And I think I made a post, and I don't remember if I even mentioned this in the post, but when I was writing the post, it's about Punavarsu, which is a Jupiter-ruled nakshatra. And one of its sayings is like something to do with like coming to the light or going towards the light. So you're an Aries descendant. Ooh, different things for that's really good. Because you said you mentioned you wanted to do YouTube. So you're going to have a huge transformation in that area, since the seventh house is the marketplace, right? It's the audience. It's where people come to see you and want to talk to you and want to view you, right? And things along the lines of that. So it looks like that you would start attracting a new audience. But as I was saying with my post with Punavarsu, It's about going towards the light and finally being able to be yourself and be true to who you are. And so you're going to start to slowly see that as we continue, especially within this year. My job, I don't like the way that they are treating my coworker. That's a shame that they aren't being kind or respectful to them. Like, you definitely got to get out of there. Jobs that have management that do, nasty things, discriminatory things, it's not a place to be. It's just bad for your mental health. It will rip you apart. The best way that I know is, one, get some sort of like evil eye accessory bracelet. To meditate, make sure you get that energy off of you. Doesn't matter if it's meditation for 1 minute, 30 seconds, get that energy off you. And this is just so that you can focus on your channel and your goals and finding a different job. And that will at least keep your focus so that when you come home, since we got that 9 of Swords, you don't have your job on your mind, taking up all of your thoughts and draining your energy. And you're so focused. Ooh, okay, the lights flash. And you're so focused on your future, you don't have to, okay, Spirit, you don't have to worry about that. All right. So keep that in mind. Just keep your eyes on the prize. Keep your eyes focused on your goals, and you will get there. All right. I think we're going to end the live, everyone. Make sure that you have a safe and peaceful week. Venus retrograde's in effect. It's starting to make us all look at different areas of our lives and reflect and make sure that we're staying aligned with where we truly want peace, where we truly want happiness. Venus is your happiness. It wants to bring happiness in your life. So if something's making you unhappy, Venus is going to make you look at it and figure out how we can get out of this situation ultimately. So that is what I have. Look out for Friday's live. Look out for next week's reading. I still have so many readings to film because of you lovely astronauts. Like, you've been giving me so many different suggestions and voting on the polls. And man, like, between my ideas and you guys voting, I have so many readings. I got enough for 8 weeks, right? So thank you all. And I will see you next week. Keep in mind, there's going to be 1 week in March that I will be gone. That is around my birthday week. And I won't be there. So there'll probably only be, there might be 4 lives this month. It depends. It really depends. But if there's only 3 lives this month, that's why. So you guys will know ahead and in advance that there may only be 3, but I will tell you in the community tab, and I'll try to put in a reading. It's going to depend. I'm going to have to really figure out the order of that. But thank you, and I will see you next time. Be sure to come to the next live, and I might even poll you guys on which times that you think would be best for the live, and look out for that poll. I may do that instead of a reading because it'll allow me to catch up. And so look out for that and be sure to answer that because it'll help me figure it out. I have a sort of an understanding after going live all these different times, but I want to be clear. I want to make sure that I'm being clear with it. All right, I'll see you next time. Bye.